Today, we will rise above the clouds and get acquainted with the highest observation towers on the planet. These gigantic structures seem to cut through the sky with their sharp spires, towering over cities and seas. They are not just buildings, they are symbols of ambition, engineering genius, and the human drive to conquer height. Today, you will see 15 of the highest observation towers on Earth. Before we begin, I will ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It will greatly help me with promotion. Enjoy watching. Above the endless streets of the most densely populated city on the planet rises a majestic giant, Tokyo Skytree. This is not just a television tower. It is an engineering masterpiece, a cultural symbol, and, without exaggeration, the pride of all Japan. Its height is 634 meters, which makes it the second tallest structure on Earth after the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. The tower was completed in the district of Sumida in Tokyo in the year 2012. Its construction was an answer to a problem. The old television tower, Tokyo Tower, began to be surrounded on all sides by new skyscrapers, and the broadcast signal weakened. Then Japan decided to build not just a new tower, but the embodiment of the national spirit, a combination of tradition and ultra-modern technology. Tokyo Skytree was created with astonishing precision. Its structure can withstand even strong earthquakes, thanks to a special damping system inspired by ancient pagodas. The tower is not merely stable, it seems to breathe with the earth, flexibly responding to any vibration. Inside, there are two observation decks. The first, Tembo Deck, is located at a height of 350 meters. From here, you get a panorama of the entire megalopolis, an endless ocean of lights, bridges, and rivers. Higher up, at 450 meters, begins Tembo Galleria, a spiral glass corridor along which visitors gradually ascend to the top. It is precisely here, at Sorakara Point, that it feels as though you are floating above the earth. On a clear day, you can see Fuji, like a legend, come alive on the horizon. And in the evening, the tower turns into a living work of art. It is illuminated by thousands of LED lights, and every day the color palette changes. Now a soft violet, now a noble gold, now a pulsating blue. For the people of Tokyo, Skytree has become the new beacon of the 21st century. It appears in films, anime, video games, and advertising, becoming a symbol of Japanese identity, modern, yet still poetic. Seen from above, the tower looks like a celestial arrow pointing into infinity. Its triangular base resembles an ancient sign of balance, and its shadow moves smoothly across the city like a sundial. From on high, it seems as though Tokyo Skytree connects three elements: earth, sky, and time. Long before the Skytree pierced the heavens of the Japanese capital, the symbol of Tokyo was already there: Tokyo Tower. Standing 333 meters high, or more than 1,090 feet, it has remained for more than half a century a symbol of Japan's rebirth and strength. The tower was built in the year 1958, just a few years after the end of the war. Its steel frame weighs more than 4,000 tons, and construction took only 18 months, an incredible speed for its time. When it opened, Tokyo Tower became the tallest structure in the world, and it was precisely from it that the era of modern Japanese broadcasting began. The tower is built as an open-work lattice structure reminiscent of the Eiffel Tower, but it is painted in bright red and white colors to be visible from any end of the city and to comply with aviation requirements. Since then, this color scheme has become its calling card. The tower has two observation decks. The first, the main deck, is at a height of 150 meters, and the upper one, the top deck, is at 250 meters. From here, open views you cannot tear yourself away from: bustling streets, the glittering lights of skyscrapers, and, in the distance, the majestic Mount Fuji when the air is clear and transparent. Below, at the base, sits a whole mini-city called Foottown. Here there are cafes, shops, museums, and even an aquarium. All this makes the tower not just a tourist place, but a genuine public space where the city's pulse beats. Special attention is paid to the strength of the structure. The tower can withstand typhoons and earthquakes. Its flexible steel structure has been tested by dozens of simulations, and over its entire existence, it has survived more than one tremor of the Earth. The illumination of the tower is a separate story. The color of the lighting changes depending on the season and holidays. In winter, the tower shines with warm gold, in spring, with pink, and on festival days, it flashes with every shade of neon. At night, it seems alive, like the heart of Tokyo beating in the rhythm of millions of lights. For many Japanese, this tower is not just a landmark, it is part of their memory, the first place where they bring tourists, and the first place they return to when they miss home. Seen from above, Tokyo Tower looks like a triangular arrow piercing the center of the city. Its shadow falls on the streets like a reminder. Time passes, but symbols remain. It is not just a tower, it is the memory of a country that always rises like the sun. Over the island nation of Sri Lanka, in the heart of the capital Colombo, a gigantic flower blossoms, Lotus Tower, or as locals call it, Nelam Kuluna. Its height is 350 meters, or 1,150 feet, and it is the tallest structure in South Asia. The tower was completed in the year 2019, becoming one of the boldest projects in the region. Its form is inspired by the sacred lotus, a symbol of purity, awakening, and spiritual rebirth. The base is painted a rich green, and the upper part, made as an opening bud, shimmers with purple and golden hues. At a height of 240 meters, there is an observation deck from which opens a view of Colombo, a city where colonial buildings stand next to modern skyscrapers, and in the distance glitters the surface of the Indian Ocean. Below are halls for receptions, conferences, and weddings. And at the top level is the country's first premium-class revolving restaurant, serving national and international cuisine. Since opening, the tower has become a source of national pride. Its image appeared on banknotes and tourist posters, and in the evening, when the illumination turns on, Colombo seems to bloom. Despite debates related to the long construction and financing, the tower quickly turned into a symbol of hope and revival. From above, the tower looks like a flower grown from a stone city. Its petals form perfect symmetry, and the reflective domed part gleams in the sun like a drop of dew. From on high, it is not just a building, it is a poem written with glass and light, a living symbol of Sri Lanka, a country that, despite difficulties, always turns its gaze to the sky. On the bank of the Pearl River, in the southern city of Guangzhou, soars into the sky one of the most graceful structures in the world, Canton Tower, or the Guangzhou TV Tower. Its height is 600 meters, or 1,968 feet. From the moment construction was completed in the year 2010, the tower received the nickname the supermodel of the world, for its slender, curving form as if created by nature itself. Its silhouette amazes with harmony. A narrow waist constriction in the middle and a wide base create the effect of smooth rotation. It is a hyperboloid structure, reminiscent of a living organism, where mathematics has turned into art. At a height of 488 meters is one of the highest open observation decks on the planet. It is precisely from here that the famous bubble tram starts, an attraction where guests sit in transparent cabins, slowly moving in a circle around the top of the tower, like floating bubbles. Below, there is a zone of extreme entertainment, skydrop, free fall from almost 500 meters. In seconds, the body flies down dozens of floors, and this experience is compared to a jump into the stratosphere. Beyond the adrenaline, there is also space to relax. Restaurants, art galleries, exhibitions, and even a 4D cinema. In the evening, Canton Tower turns into a spiral of light, shimmering with every color of the rainbow. Seen from above, it looks like a spinning vortex, a spiral of light drawn against the background of the megalopolis. Its shadow stretches along the embankment, and the form seems simultaneously natural and fantastic, like a piece of DNA grown from the earth. The tower seems to connect mathematics, architecture, and poetry, three worlds intertwined into one whole. High above the green coniferous crowns and the shimmering shores of the Baltic, the Tallinn TV Tower reaches for the sky. Not just a technical structure, but a living legend of the Cold War and a symbol of Estonia's independence. Its height is 314 meters, and for several decades it has remained one of the most impressive towers in Northern Europe. The tower rises not far from the capital and was built for the Olympic Games of the year 1980, when Tallinn hosted the sailing competitions. Its mission was ambitious: to ensure stable broadcasting of the Olympic events and to strengthen the country's broadcasting system. Architecturally, the tower reflects the spirit of late Soviet modernism: a massive concrete foundation, a powerful steel core, and a graceful vertical shaft crowned by a disc-shaped observation deck. The observation deck is located at roughly 170 meters. From here, there are circular views of the Old Town, of the blue of the Gulf of Finland, and, if you are lucky with the weather, you can even make out the shores of Helsinki. At the foot, there is a tourist center with interactive exhibits and historical materials telling about the construction and the tower's role in the country's history. In the year 1991, a dramatic episode occurred right here. When Soviet troops tried to seize media centers, a group of Estonian defenders locked themselves inside the tower and held it, preserving the independence of broadcasting. This act became a symbol of resistance and unity of the people. Today, the tower is not only a popular tourist place, but also a place of strength for the entire country. Exhibitions, concerts, television broadcasts, and even extreme activities are held here. One of the boldest is the Walk on the Edge. Participants are secured with safety gear and step outside the glass walls of the observation deck, feeling the wind and the height right under their feet. Seen from above, the tower seems like a lone vertical line piercing the green sea of forests. Paths and park alleys radiate from it like the rays of a compass, and in the distance shimmers the blue surface of the Gulf of Finland. From on high, it feels as though the tower connects the sky, the land, and the sea, like an axis on which the country's history turns. On the other side of China, in the very heart of the futuristic Pudong district, stands one of the most recognizable structures in Asia, the Oriental Pearl Tower. Its height is 468 meters, or 1,535 feet. From the moment construction was completed in the year 1994, it became a true symbol of the new Shanghai, a city striving toward the future. The tower seems to come alive against the backdrop of skyscrapers. Its structure consists of 3 inclined pillars that support 11 spheres of various sizes. The 2 largest spheres, the lower and the upper, serve as observation decks and restaurants. The main deck, at a height of 263 meters, offers a panorama of all of Shanghai, the sparkling Bund waterfront, endless districts, and the winding Huangpu River. Even higher, at the level of 351 meters, is the so-called Space Module, a capsule with a circular view, interactive displays, and the sensation that you are orbiting the city. But the most breathtaking part of the tower is the glass floor at a height of 259 meters. You step into the transparent zone, and below you, far down, lies the entire megalopolis. It is an impression you cannot forget, a light fear, delight, and admiration all at once. Inside the tower, there is everything: a revolving restaurant, cafes, a museum of Shanghai's history, shops, even an underground shopping complex. And outside, it is pure geometry and light. From above, the tower resembles a precious stone set into a steel city. Its spheres shine like pearls that have caught the sun's rays. When the sun sets, the tower's shadow moves along the embankment in a smooth arc, like the hand on a giant clock. The top view is mesmerizing. 3 supports, elegantly diverging below, and spheres that seem suspended in the air form an incredibly harmonious composition. This is not just architecture. It is a sculpture of light, form, and movement. The pinnacle of the modern world, a structure that amazes not only with height, but also with symbolism. Before you is Merdeka 118, located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. Its height is 678 and 9/10 meters, or 2,227 feet. It is the second tallest building on the planet, second only to the Burj Khalifa, while being the tallest observation tower in the world. The name Merdeka translates from Malay as freedom. And this is no coincidence. The tower was erected next to the stadium where in the year 1957 Malaysia proclaimed its independence. Thus, architecture became a direct continuation of national history. The project was developed by the Australian studio Fender Katsalides and Malaysian engineers. Their goal was not just to build a skyscraper, but to create a crystal of freedom, a living metaphor for an independent country aspiring to the future. The building's facade is covered with faceted glass that refracts light, creating the effect of constantly changing color. It seems that the tower lives, reflecting the sky, the sun, and the city. The main attraction is the observation deck, The View at 118, located at a height of about 500 meters. It is not just a viewpoint, it is an entire world. Huge floor-to-ceiling windows, interactive augmented reality panels, light installations, and open terraces where you can literally stand face-to-face with the wind at cloud level. Visitors are lifted by some of the fastest elevators on Earth. They move at a speed of 10 meters per second and are fully transparent, revealing a view of the tower's internal structure during the ascent. Below the observation levels, there are more than 100 floors with offices, apartments, shopping areas, and even the luxurious Park Hyatt Hotel. At the base of the tower is the gigantic shopping complex 118 Mall, and around it, a modern district has been laid out with museums, residential buildings, and cultural venues. The building's foundation goes 120 meters into the ground. It is a network of 137 reinforced concrete piles that ensure the Colossus's stability. The upper part is supported by a system of mega columns, a combination of steel and concrete capable of withstanding gusts of wind and vibrations without the slightest oscillation. Since its partial opening in the year 2023, Merdeka 118 has become a global sensation. Architects call it a vertical hymn to independence, while tourists call it the sky mirror of Asia. Seen from above, the tower looks like a crystal arrow piercing the very air. Its sharp shadow divides the city into two parts, and the shining facade reflects the sky so that Kuala Lumpur seems to drown in light. In the evening, the peak lights up with dynamic illumination, turning the building into a gigantic crown visible even from space. From on high, it seems that the tower reaches not just for the clouds, it unites land, memory, and dream into a single vertical. It is not just the tallest building, it is a monument to the human striving to rise higher than anything that came before. Rising majestically over modern Beijing, the Central Radio and TV Tower of China became one of the country's first super-tall structures and remains to this day an architectural symbol of an era of change. Its height is 405 meters, or 1,329 feet. Completed in the year 1992, it became an important milestone in Beijing's history. The city entered the era of vertical construction, when horizontal districts gave way to forms striving toward the sky. The tower's construction is based on a massive reinforced concrete shaft that gradually narrows upward and supports a large observation and transmission capsule. On the upper levels, there are several zones: an observation deck at a height of 238 meters, a revolving restaurant slightly higher, as well as technical floors housing equipment for China Central Television and dozens of radio stations. From the observation level opens a breathtaking circular panorama of Beijing. You can see the Forbidden City, the Olympic Park, the business district with mirror glass skyscrapers, and even mountain ranges on the horizon, if, of course, the weather cooperates. The restaurant rotates every 90 minutes, offering guests the chance to enjoy Chinese cuisine and a panoramic view at the same time. The atmosphere here is almost cosmic: soft light, curved glass walls, and the sensation that you are hovering over the megalopolis. Engineers who created the tower faced difficult tasks. Beijing's soil is soft, so a system of deep piles was laid under the base, and the structure was made resistant to winds and soil shifts. Today, the tower is not just a technical facility. It is one of tourists' favorite places, a symbol of Chinese telecommunication power and an unchanging landmark on the city's skyline. Seen from above, the tower looks like a thin silvery spire reflected in the calm surface of a lake. Its wide base and the rays of pathways form a pattern reminiscent of a solar disk, and its long shadow crosses the park like the hand of a giant clock. From on high, it seems as though the tower places a period at the end of the sentence that Beijing writes about itself to the world, an exclamation mark made of concrete and light. On the shore of Lake Ontario, rising above the city like a giant lighthouse, stands the CN Tower, one of the most recognizable structures not only in Canada, but in the entire world. Its height is 553 meters, or more than 1,800 feet. When the tower was completed in the year 1976, it became for 33 years the tallest freestanding structure on the planet, a record it held until the year 2009. Today, the CN Tower remains the highest observation tower in the Western Hemisphere, and a true icon of engineering mastery. Its central shaft is a hexagonal reinforced concrete pylon built by the method of continuous concrete slip forming. For its time, it was a technological marvel. High-speed elevators lift visitors to the main observation deck at a height of 346 meters in less than a minute. From here opens a breathtaking view of the city, the lake, and, on especially clear days, even Niagara Falls and the edge of the state of New York. The most famous feature of this deck is the transparent glass floor, which not everyone dares to step onto. Below your feet, a dizzying depth, and this moment stays in memory forever. Even higher, at the level of 447 meters, is the Sky Pod, one of the highest viewing points in the world. Higher, only the clouds will go. And for lovers of adrenaline, the CN Tower has prepared something even more serious: the Edge Walk, a walk along an exterior ledge only 1.5 meters wide at a height of 356 meters. Participants are secured with safety gear but are under the open sky, stepping literally beyond the edge of human sensations. In addition, the tower hosts the famous restaurant 360, which makes a full rotation every 72 minutes. It is a dinner you cannot forget, haute cuisine and a panorama that makes your heart stop. Seen from above, the CN Tower looks like a giant needle stuck at the edge of the continent. Its long shadow slides across the roofs of skyscrapers and the Rogers Centre Stadium, and the circular form of the observation levels is visible even in satellite images. From on high, it seems that the tower is a pointer aimed at the sky, a symbol of progress, precision, and the pride of an entire nation. In the very heart of Berlin, on Alexanderplatz, rises one of Germany's most recognizable symbols, the Berlin TV Tower, or Fernsehturm. Its height is 368 meters, which makes it the tallest structure in Germany and one of the tallest in Europe. The tower was built in the year 1969, in the era of the Cold War, commissioned by the German Democratic Republic. It was supposed to become proof of the technical power of East Germany, and it did, turning into the main symbol of East Berlin. The tower's construction is simple and elegant, a slender, reinforced concrete shaft crowned by a mirror-glossy sphere. This sphere is not just decoration, but an entire world. At a height of 203 meters, there is an observation deck offering an incredible view of Berlin. You can make out everything, from the Brandenburg Gate to the dome of the Reichstag. Slightly higher is the revolving restaurant Telecafé, which completes a full rotation every 30 minutes. Here, visitors can literally walk around Berlin without getting up from the table. When the tower was built, engineers achieved an effect that forever changed its image. The sphere is covered with steel panels polished to a mirror shine, and when the sun hits it, a shining cross appears on the surface. In the GDR, this caused many debates. People nicknamed it the Pope's Revenge, because in an atheist state, a symbol of faith suddenly manifested itself. After German reunification, the tower became a symbol of a new time, the symbol of a united Berlin. Today, it is one of the most visited places in the country, where exhibitions, light shows, and cultural events are held. And at night, the Fernsehturm is illuminated with red and white lights and seems to hover over the city, guarding its peace. Seen from above, the tower looks like a sparkling eye built into the heart of the city. Its shadow falls as a perfectly round imprint on the square, and around it you can see the symmetrical network of streets diverging like rays. From on high, the Berlin Tower is an eye that sees everything, a symbol of time, history, and change. Above the vast expanses of the Iranian capital rises Malad Tower, a proud shining steel arrow aimed at the sky. Its height is 435 meters, which makes it the tallest structure in Iran and one of the largest observation towers on the planet. Completed in the year 2007 after more than a decade of design, Malad combines the functions of a telecommunications hub, a cultural center, and an architectural symbol of modern Tehran. The peak is crowned by a huge head capsule, a gigantic glass and metal sphere with an area of more than 12,000 square meters. Here are observation decks, restaurants, technical levels, and lounge zones. The main open deck at a height of 315 meters opens a grand view of Tehran and the Alborz Mountains. On clear days, you can even see Damavand, the majestic volcano, the highest mountain in Iran. One of the main attractions is the revolving restaurant, which makes a full rotation around its axis in roughly 1 hour. Its design is minimalist and geometric and perfectly matches the architectural appearance of the tower, austere, symmetrical, and elegant. The tower is designed with the region's high seismic activity in mind. At the base is a deep concrete foundation, and the central core is equipped with a damping system capable of absorbing vibrations during earthquakes. For Tehranis, Malad is not just a building. It is a symbol of the future, the embodiment of progress and hope. In a city where more than 10 million people live, the tower has become a place where you can not only see the panorama of the capital, but also look at it from another perspective, philosophical and emotional. Seen from above, Malad looks like a silver arrow piercing the dense urban fabric. Its concrete base narrows smoothly upward to a massive round head, which shines in the sun and casts a long shadow like a sundial. From on high, it is not just a tower. It is a beacon of modern Tehran, a vertical metaphor for its aspirations and ambitions. In the north of Moscow, among parks and wide avenues, rises a legend of Soviet engineering, the Ostankino TV Tower. Its height is 540 meters, which makes it the tallest freestanding structure in Europe. Completed in the year 1967, it became not just a record, but a triumph of the engineering thought of its time, outpacing the entire world by years. The Ostankino Tower held the world height record for 8 years, and even today, decades later, it remains one of the greatest structures on the planet. Its concrete shaft is supported by 10 internal steel cables that allow the tower to respond flexibly to wind and seismic vibrations. For the 1960s, this was truly a revolutionary solution, an era when computers were only appearing and calculations were done by hand. The observation deck is located at a height of 337 meters and is a glazed circular hall. From here, you can see the entire city, the Kremlin, Moscow City, and the rings of roads stretching to the horizon. On a clear day, you can make out even the forests of the Moscow region. The tower has survived a lot. In the year 2000, a severe fire occurred here at a height of 460 meters, taking lives and causing serious damage. After the tragedy, the tower was modernized. New fire extinguishing systems, emergency staircases, and evacuation capsules were installed. Sensors were built in to monitor the condition of the structure. Today, the Ostankino Tower shines again, as a symbol not only of technology, but also of resilience. It still transmits television and radio signals, and also welcomes guests who ascend to the observation deck or dine in the famous revolving restaurant, Seventh Heaven. For Muscovites, it is not just a building. It is part of their identity, a recognizable silhouette visible from any point in the city. It became a symbol of the television era, and now, a symbol of continuity and progress. Seen from above, the tower resembles a perfectly sharpened pencil piercing the city's grid. Its base is surrounded by a circle of footpaths and green plantings, and its shadow stretches out like the needle of a compass. The Ostankino Tower is a connection between earth and sky, past and future. Rising above the expanses of Central Asia, the Tashkent TV Tower, like a gigantic needle, pierces the clouds and the celestial dome. It has become a symbol of Soviet engineering mastery and Uzbekistan's aspiration for technological progress. Its height is 375 meters, or 1,230 feet. This is not just a record for the region. It is one of the tallest freestanding structures on the entire planet. The tower was completed in the year 1985 and combined everything at once: communications functions, scientific research, and tourism. From the observation deck, incredible panoramas of the capital, Tashkent, open up. From here, the city seems like a living organism of street grids and green avenues pulsing under the sun. The tower arose during the modernization of the Uzbek SSR and still remains one of the most recognizable landmarks of the country. Almost 4 decades later, it still serves as a radio and television center, and its revolving restaurant is a living reminder of a time when futurism was a symbol of luxury. Inside, the spirit of that time has been preserved. Mirrored ceilings, carpet patterns, and panoramic windows in brass frames from which the endless horizon opens. But the significance of the tower is not limited to technology. It is part of culture. It is depicted on banknotes, postage stamps, and tourist logos. For the residents of the capital, it is a kind of landmark, a beacon by which you can find your way even in an unfamiliar district. After all, Tashkent once had to be rebuilt from scratch after the terrible earthquake of the year 1966. Seen from above, the tower looks like a giant steel arrow stuck into the city's map. Its base consists of 3 powerful supports forming the shape of the letter Y, from which a slender rod rises, like a symbol of precision and balance. Around it are green alleys and a neat square. Not a single building can compare with it in height. From a bird's-eye view, it looks like a steel compass thrown onto the map of Central Asia, a landmark connecting earth and sky. In the shining megalopolis of Seoul, among neon lights and rivers of skyscrapers, rises a true giant, Lotte World Tower. Its height is 555 meters, which makes it the tallest building in South Korea and one of the tallest structures on the entire planet. This tower is not just architecture. It is a vertical city, the embodiment of the ambitions of a country that rose from the ruins of war to become a technological leader of Asia. Inside, there is everything: luxurious apartments, offices, shopping galleries, art galleries, hotels, and of course, breathtaking observation decks. The building includes 123 floors, and the highest levels are given to the observatory Seoul Sky, one of the most impressive observation decks in the world. From the 117th to the 123rd floor opens a panorama that literally makes your head spin. The undulating Han River, busy bridges, palaces of the Joseon dynasty, and an endless sea of city lights. On the 118th floor is the glass platform Sky Deck, the highest glass observation zone in the world at the time of opening. You stand, and beneath you, an abyss. It seems as though the whole of South Korea lies at your feet. The upper levels are dedicated to VIP zones, lounges, and cafes, with a panorama where you can watch the sunset over Seoul, and, on a clear day, see even the shores of Incheon and the Yellow Sea shimmering in the haze. Slightly lower are a 6-star hotel, offices, and the famous Lotte World Mall shopping and entertainment center, where you can spend an entire day. Cinemas, an aquarium, boutiques, restaurants, and exhibition spaces. The tower has become not just an architectural wonder, a new symbol of Seoul. It often appears in Korean dramas, music videos, films, on postcards, and in the news. And during holidays, it turns into a screen of light, gigantic animations, the Korean flag, congratulations, and even virtual fireworks are projected on its facade. Seen from above, The tower seems like a silver sword driven into the urban fabric. Its sharp, narrowing upward body stands out against the dense urban development, and the mirrored facade reflects the sun like the surface of water. From on high, Lotte World Tower is not just a skyscraper. It is a symbol of the new Korea, a country that has learned to turn ambition into height. We rose above the clouds, walked along the summits of the world, and peered to the place where the horizon ends. These towers are not just concrete and steel. They are dreams turned into architecture. Each of them is a reminder: a human being always strives upward to where there is light and freedom. While someone looks at them from below, someone is already building the next one, even higher, even bolder. And perhaps it is there, beyond the clouds, that a new history of humanity begins.